Hello, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the damn podcast channel. Y'all, we are still using the set over here for time constraint reasonings, but regardless, this is the podcast channel, and over here what we do is we go live from time to time, kind of at the drop of a hat, and I do quick updates about current cases going on, that type thing, and so that's what we're doing. All the links down below will show you my other channels. Make sure you check out those, as well as links to the full article. So here what we're doing for cases are cases like this, articles like this, videos like this. I am reviewing a article that has come about the case. I'll put screenshots, and at the end of that I'll talk about my thoughts and opinions on it. Now this case, this is trigger warning, y'all, okay? I'm just gonna go ahead and say that right now. We are gonna be talking about baby Evelyn. This is the Megan Boswell case. This has been going on for years at this point, right? And at first it's very Casey Anthony, it's very just horrifying, right? So we are finally learning some more information as to exactly what happened to this poor little baby Evelyn. And so that's what this is going to be about. So let's go ahead and jump into the article. Okay, now this article is by Jamie Satterfield. It was published September 23rd, 2022. We see the picture of little baby Evelyn, and we see that the headline, testimony reveals Sullivan County toddler died after being placed in a trash can. And I'm just going to warn you, it gets worse from here. So usually what I do is I pick out highlights, but this is a short article, and literally I was like, there's just basically no way to pick pieces out of this and go over just the highlights, so we're just going to read the whole thing real quick, okay? Like I said, it's a shorter article, but here we go. A Sullivan County toddler whose disappearance more than 2 years ago drew international attention was tightly wound in a blanket and aluminum foil and then placed in a trash bag and stuffed alive inside a trash can, testimony Friday revealed. The testimony in the criminal court Friday revealed 18-month-old EVELYN Boswell suffocated inside a trash can placed inside a playhouse her mother, Megan Boswell, used to play in as a child. Now, the forensic pathologist, Dr. Darinka Milinskic, I'm probably butchering that last name, I apologize, testified Friday that the toddler was tightly wound in a fleece blanket, then wrapped in an aluminum foil and placed upside down inside a trash can, which was she was placed upside down inside a trash bag, which was stuffed into a trash can with such force the child's head was pressed backward against her back. She was sort of compressed in the can, the woman testified. Her head was completely tilted backwards, severely overextended. She was in a distorted fetal position. Her facial features were pretty much flattened. The doctor serves as Knox County's chief medical examiner, heads a regional forensic center located in Knoxville, and is an expert in the detection of fatal child abuse. Because of her expertise, she was called in to serve as a consultant on the case. Friday's testimony marks the first time since Evelyn was reported missing in February 2020, and her remains discovered a month later on property owned by her maternal grandfather, that the COD has been made public. The doctor also testified that a forensic examination makes clear that her death was intentional. The article does sit here and say, Megan was insisting that, one of her boyfriend rolled over on her. It was an accident type thing, but that's been proven obviously not. Now, although the medical examiner's testimony was public, the judge did order the autopsy report and related photographs sealed. Now let's go over to the next thing here. It's still not clear when Evelyn was stuffed inside the trash can. And reporting the child missing, paternal grandfather Tommy Boswell Sr. told authorities he hadn't seen the toddler since late November of 2019. Now, the purpose of Friday's hearing was to determine whether prosecutors will be allowed to show jurors photographs of Evelyn's body as she was removed from the can and unwrapped from the foil and blanket. Megan Boswell's attorney, Brad Sproles, argued the photos are so graphic that jurors would convict his client solely as an emotional reaction rather than cool reflection of evidence. At the hearing on Friday, Goodwin ruled some of those photographs are necessary for the state to prove its felony M case against Megan, but he is barring jurors from seeing two he deemed particularly graphic and prejudicial. The Tennessee Lookout will have a full report on the case in Friday's hearing in an upcoming edition. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about my thoughts on this. This is absolutely horrifying, okay? I think it's disgusting and a sad day for humanity when the defense lawyer has to say, I'm afraid my client would be convicted just solely based on an emotional reaction. These pictures are so horrifying. Yeah, okay, like listening to the evidence with a cool mind, That's all the evidence we need. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the evidence speaks for itself. She's already convicted herself, okay? Now, I get, innocent until proven guilty, all this stuff, right? This is listening to what happened to that poor child. Can you imagine? Just imagine going out that way. Absolutely horrible. Now, if you haven't followed the case, it's one that it's one of those like, what is this? Megan basically tried to blame it on her mother at first. Her mother's been in and out of jail since this has happened with crazy charges and this and that. I mean, it's crazy, okay? There's lots of issues in this family, clearly, with what Megan has done to this child. So yeah, the pictures, I mean, I would not want to see those pictures if I was in the jury. That would haunt me. Just the description alone is haunting. And now at least finally baby EVELYN is able to speak her truth from the grave, because her mother going around saying it was an accident and this and that, full well knowing what's happened to this poor little child. There's no excuse for it, right? So I'm glad the judge has decided to show some of these pictures because the jurors need to see it. This is a case where I don't know what kind of defense she will have. I mean, literally, so far what we know of the evidence, I'm like, there's a defense other than insanity, which we clearly know would not fly, right? So this is very much giving McNabb vibes, Casey Anthony vibes. I mean, this woman is a monster. So like I said, be sure and check out all the description below for the links to the full article and all that kind of stuff, but I just read the whole thing to you. But follow the reporter, because this is obviously somebody who's following this case. This will be a good one to check out, so check out her social media links. And that's it. I appreciate you watching, and until next time, we'll meet back here at the sofa.